I want to remind you about the Nobel Prize that I was awarded in medicine, which was for the discovery of a molecule called nitric oxide. We can abbreviate nitric oxide NO. So I'll refer to it as nitric oxide or NO. So this molecule is well known to lower the blood pressure, improve blood flow throughout the body, and prevent coronary artery inflammation. This is why the Nobel Prize was awarded for this particular discovery. Now, at the time of the Nobel Prize, the Nobel Foundation prepared a poster. And I love this poster because it explains the Nobel Prize on nitric oxide so that everyone could understand it. So in the middle of this slide, we have a heart. And the heart, of course, receives blood, just as all the other organs receive blood. And the blood flows through the coronary arteries, which are located in the upper left and the upper right. Now, if you look at the upper left side, you see that these coronary arteries are very healthy. There's a wide space in the middle for the blood to flow through. There's no inflammation of the arterial wall. This artery is making lots of nitric oxide to keep healthy. And this artery probably came from someone who's leading a healthy lifestyle. Now, if we go to the right side, what a different story. Look at this. This is a very sick artery. This artery has cholesterol plaques in the middle because this person was leading a sedentary lifestyle and not eating very healthy, probably eating too much saturated fats. And you can see the cholesterol plaques, the thickening of the walls compared to the healthy artery. And here in the middle, there's very little room for the blood to flow. The arteries have to conduct a lot of blood flow. If there's very little blood flow, that means not enough oxygen and not enough nutrients are going to get into the heart. And what's the result going to be? A heart attack, of course. And if these very sick arteries exist in your brain because of unhealthy lifestyle, then the result is a stroke. This is all due to a deficiency of nitric oxide. So the key thing is to stay healthy by making lots of nitric oxide. And this is nitric oxide. If you have taken a course in chemistry, then you know what this is. This is nitric oxide, one atom of nitrogen and one atom of oxygen. But just remember NO. That's the best thing to remember. And I always like to think of nitric oxide as the body's miracle molecule to promote life support and healthy aging. And, you know, I think that by the time I finish my presentation, you will agree with me that nitric oxide is a miracle molecule. Now, we want to make as much nitric oxide as possible, of course. So nitric oxide production depends on healthy diet and physical activity. That's right. So I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying here, because the reason why a good diet is healthy and physical activity is healthy is to ensure the proper production of nitric oxide. If you eat protein, fruit, vegetables, all of that will increase the formation or production of nitric oxide. Physical activity or exercise is another great way to increase production of nitric oxide. These two facts are very, very well known. And that's why it's important to eat healthy and to engage in physical activity. Let me talk about some of the components of foods in nitric oxide production. All proteins contain something called amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. For example, all proteins consist of about 20 or so amino acids. Each one is important. to consume. The name of one of them is arginine. Arginine is converted to nitric oxide in the body. That's how nitric oxide is produced. You have to have arginine. Citrulline is another amino acid. Citrulline is converted to arginine in the body, which in turn is converted to nitric oxide. And we have a third amino acid that's important in promoting nitric oxide production. Let me switch to antioxidants and what that does in NO production. Antioxidants stabilize nitric oxide by keeping it around longer. Now, I don't want to talk about chemistry and biology here, but nitric oxide is very unstable and breaks down quickly in the presence of oxidative stress. You could prevent that by eating a lot of antioxidants, which will stabilize the nitric oxide. That's why fruits and vegetables are so important, because they contain the antioxidants. You know, you should remember that the darker the color of the fruit or vegetable, the more the antioxidants they contain, because the color of antioxidants is a dark color. For example, if we look at vegetables, beets, spinach, arugula, kale, all of these are spectacular because they contain lots of antioxidants, especially beets, right? You know the red color of the beets. I eat these every day. I love the way they taste, and I know that I'm increasing my nitric oxide. Also, in the fruit family, pomegranate, blueberries, cherries, many other kinds of berries are loaded with antioxidants. And that's why they are so healthy. Let's talk about healthy aging. Everybody wants to undergo healthy aging, which means maintaining a high quality of life while you're growing old. Everyone wants to grow old, but you want to be healthy when you're in your older years. And the best way to achieve this is paying attention to your diet and physical activity. Let's state a couple of more facts, which in this case, I'm repeating myself. Nitric oxide is the body's miracle anti-aging molecule. I explained to you all the different things that nitric oxide does in the body. So with all of these different actions, of course, that's going to promote aging. That's going to promote longevity. You should consume foods that boost the production of nitric oxide. Eat as many foods that you know can increase nitric oxide. And remember, healthy aging starts now. So you should do this beginning right now. Don't wait till tomorrow or next week or next year. So we want to increase nitric oxide. That's clear. During our lifetime, unfortunately, nitric oxide levels decrease. Every year that we get older, nitric oxide levels go down. And that's a shame, but that's just the way it is. Nitric oxide levels are highest when you're a child, and they're lowest when you're elderly. But you could try to raise those nitric oxide levels by maintaining a healthy diet, by getting adequate exercise, and also one more way. What is this other way to increase nitric oxide? Nightworks, of course. Have you boosted your nitric oxide today? If you take Nightworks, you will boost your nitric oxide. So let me explain. This is why I developed this product many years ago. This is the Nightworks that you have, which I think is such a fantastic product. So what does Nightworks do, and how does it do it? Well, first of all, the most important thing to remember is that Nightworks can boost or increase the production of your nitric oxide. In addition, it increases the action of nitric oxide. And let's explain why. These are the ingredients in Nightworks. Okay, Nightworks contains amino acids and antioxidants. I explained that these substances can boost the production of nitric oxide. That's why we put these constituents in Niteworks. So Niteworks contains arginine, citrulline, and taurine. These are amino acids which produce nitric oxide. And the more you consume, the more nitric oxide you produce. In addition, Niteworks contains antioxidants such as vitamin C, vitamin E, and also alpha lipoic acid. The names are not so important. What's important is that these antioxidants increase the action of nitric oxide, as I explained previously. So I want to state a few important points that I'd like you to remember about Niteworks. The most important one, and I've said it several times already, is that Niteworks boosts the production and action of nitric oxide. This is well known to do this. We've known this for 25 years. This is why we made Niteworks at Herbalife Nutrition. Also remember that Niteworks targets all the organs in your body, not just the heart. Remember, I talked about nitric oxide being important in the brain and in the joints and other areas of the body. So Niteworks targets all of the organs in your body. It targets wherever nitric oxide is important. So I think Niteworks is a great nutritional supplement to your healthy diet and physical activity. Now, there have been a few misconceptions about Niteworks, and I just wanted to quickly go over these. You may add Niteworks to your Formula One shake in the mornings. You can add Niteworks to any other Herbalife nutritional product. If you drink aloe, you can add it to aloe. I like to add it to my Formula One shake in the morning, add lots of berries, blueberries, pomegranate, make a nice healthy shake, and that's my breakfast. Sometimes I have it for lunch as well if I think I'm gaining a little weight. That's a good way to control your weight. You can take Niteworks with any Herbalife supplement. It does not have to be taken alone. And you can take Niteworks in the morning or the daytime or the nighttime. I know the name of the product is Niteworks. We called it that 20 years ago when we marketed the product because we thought the best time to make nitric oxide was at night. However, science has shown that you can take Niteworks any time of the day or night with the same effects, producing the same amount of nitric oxide. I take it in the morning. That's when I like to take it. Sometimes I also take it at night, but my preference is in the morning.